Welcome to my leadership philosophy video. This video is for my leadership as an art class. I will be discussing the insights and concepts this class has taught me about leadership. This class covered 10 concepts of leadership. The 5 that I've chosen to cover and resonates most with me is leadership style, vision, servant leaders, leading with goals, and empowering others. To establish my leadership, I am president and founder of Okami Taiko, which is an Okinawan-style taiko drumming club at Madison College. Okinawan-style taiko drumming is also known as Asa, and I will be referring it to Asa for the ease of saying it. My main examples will come from running this club. Other leadership positions that I've taken on Madison College Truax campus in the past have been the Leadership Development Coordinator for Executive Leadership Team, the Student Program Coordinator for the Culture Connect, which comes out of CIE, and most recently, peer advisor for the TRIO program. At the beginning of the semester, we took 2 leadership style surveys. Of the 2, I scored guiding from one survey, and from the other, team leader. Team leader is as described. The leader achieves high work performance through leading his or her people to become dedicated to the organizational goals. There is a high degree of participation and teamwork, which satisfies the basic need of people to be involved and committed to their work. The leader may be characterized as open-minded, flexible, and one who inspires involvement. I definitely identify with team leader. My values are community, accountability, defendability, authenticity, passion, empathy, and most importantly, enjoyment. My leadership style was forged from years and years of experience working under poor leaders. Essentially, I learned from what not to do. And once I got myself out of those traumatizing and toxic environments, I vowed that I would lead differently, that I would lead with purpose, with passion, and enjoyment. Vision. I believe a leader is successful when their vision can inspire others to share that vision. My vision for Okami Taiko was to create a supportive community where everyone could share their love for dance and taiko, to create a safe space for people to express themselves through Asa, and hopefully support and empower each other in other aspects of their lives, to have a community that goes beyond Asa, beyond dance. For example, networking and connecting each other with resources, and to help foster growth through club activities and involvement. And for the record, Okami Taiko's mission is to encourage body positivity, creative choreography, and community through Asa. Leading with goals. My goals to execute these visions is to create a community by setting the tone and modeling for a welcoming environment, and creating a culture of acceptance and empowerment. At the beginning of every taiko practice, I host a welcome circle. In the welcome circle, it's kind of a time for us to touch base with each other, check in on each other's well-being. Sometimes we'll play a game, sometimes we'll share something simple, like what's our favorite way to eat eggs, or our favorite thing to cook. You get the idea. Another way that I like to create community is by having friendly interactions and acknowledgement outside of the practice space. Sometimes it's saying hello in the hallways, sometimes it's seeing someone eating lunch and sitting down and having like a 5-minute chat. Sometimes it's sending each other videos of Asa performers, professional groups in Okinawa, to kind of boast that enthusiasm for Asa. Another way to help build community is to create opportunities for bonding outside of the club. So obviously inside the club, we're socializing and dancing and working together, but something that also really works well in building a team is having an outside social at Picnic Point, for example, because it's a nice free open space. And also just hanging out around a campfire is really fun. Sometimes our club will go bowling, and sometimes it can be productive, working on a poster together for tabling, or maybe cutting out flyers, or crafting together for some sort of craft sale. Another way I like to lead with goals is to help members develop personal and interpersonal growth and skills. That kind of leads into empowering groups. One of my visions for the club is to foster growth. I want my club members to gain so much more than a cultural dance skill. How I help my members develop personal growth and interpersonal skills. And I know that I tend to carry the world on my shoulders. I have a lot of trouble realizing when I've taken too much on my plate and knowing when it's the right time to ask for help. Club officer positions is a great opportunity for empowering others. It helps them help me, and it's a good way for them to practice leadership skills. I'll have my club officers lead a taiko practice, or maybe teach a song, or maybe teach a move to a newer member. Most recently, I started having my club officers take lead in planning one of our smaller performances on campus, and in doing so, they get to practice advocation, communication, and email correspondence, and most importantly, event planning. This year at AnimeCon Milwaukee, I thought a really fun way to empower my team members was to make them all promote the club and hand out flyers and talk to cosplayers, kind of push them out of their comfort zone. They protested, but I think it worked out. Servant leader. For servant leader, I'm going to be drawing examples from AnimeCon Milwaukee, also known as AMKI, as my main source of examples because it was, not gonna lie, AMKI was a servant leader project for me. There was a lot of planning and preparation for my team to have an amazing experience, and it took a lot out of me, but it was very worth it. There are 6 aspects to being a servant leader. The first aspect is expressing unlimited liability for others. My main emphasis for Okami Taiko is always, are my drummers having fun? Are they enjoying themselves? When it comes to accepting a performance opportunity, the main factor I consider is, are my drummers going to have a great time? Will this be a fun performance? Some performance opportunities may come with a monetary incentive, but may be further than we want to travel, or will be inconvenient to a majority of members, and might be more work than we can handle, which is not fun. Last year during AMKI, we had a double booking on the same weekend, and it was so much work to pull it off. It was all work and some play. I remember there were some panels that we couldn't go to because we were performing and tabling all day at the second location. This year, we were given the same opportunities, same 2 gigs during the same weekend. But I wanted my team to focus on enjoying themselves at the convention, and so turned down the second performing opportunity that had more monetary incentive. I can proudly say that this year my team was able to go to many panels, some even relating to their career interests. During our reflection circle following that performance, several members boasted about having time to do different things at their own pace. And that's a win for me. Know self well. I know that I get very anxious before performance and tend to over-prepare. Having that foresight, I prepared my team. I could trust them to show up at the performing stage on time with the drums and equipment, all dressed and ready to go. My team is remarkably dependable, and right before the show started, they helped keep me calm, and they reassured me that everything was gonna be fine, the performance was gonna be successful, and we were gonna do well, which we did. Holders of liberating vision. This was already covered, but my vision for AMKI was for my drummers to have fun, enjoy the convention and everything it had to offer, and have a fun and enjoyable performance. Here's a snippet of that clip it.
It was a nice new experience to cosplay and, I don't know, get positive feedback from the community.
It was a blast. I felt very fulfilled as a member of this team and being, just so included and connected.
The whole convention was super chill for me because I just walked around, wandered around, walked to random panels. Like, hey, what's this? I got to go to concert, lit.
I really had a lot of fun. It was enjoyable. I learned a lot. For the performance, I enjoyed it a lot, despite how anxious I was.
The performance was good. I mean, I made at least one mistake for each song, but I also shrugged it off because there was a lot of positivity in the crowd.
I enjoyed how it was easily paced to our own desires. I think that was by far the best an enjoyable performance I've ever had.
Users of persuasion. Servant leaders do not control others. I did make a requirement for every member to talk to or give flyers to at least 2 convention attendees over the weekend about our performance, because it was on a Sunday and most people aren't there on Sundays. But I argue it was persuasion. It put them a bit out of their comfort zone, but I knew that they would be standing in some line at the convention for a panel or food or whatever, and it would be a great opportunity for them to practice some networking and advocating skills. I even went easy on them. I said they could just put the flyers on the tables if they can't find people, which is unlikely, highly unlikely, but I still think I persuaded them to advocate for the club. Builders of community. Amki was a great opportunity to build rapport within the club. It's like an overnight field trip. It's so fun. There was one night one of our members was feeling unwell, and the most amazing thing happened. It still gives me chills to this day. The 3 youngest members did some research because they knew he was sick, and they made him some tea and went to his room and brought him some painkillers. It was a very touching and beautiful feeling of community. It had me almost crying. I was like, oh my gosh, my little babies are taking care of each other. It's so sweet. Use power ethically. The most ethical thing I did during Amki was plan a performance that was well suited to my team. I didn't push them to overexert themselves and left enough space in between each song so that each drummer can have a water break.
You know, we had time to drink water. Because we had time to drink water.
I made sure that there were songs where my experienced drummers could sit out and take a break. And I made sure that there were songs where my newest drummers could show off what they learned. If anything, I think I may have overestimated how much time in between each song and had extra time left over. In that situation, fortunately, we had to whip up 2 or 3 songs to fill in the time. But it was still a really great experience because they were 3 really fun songs to do last minute. We really proved that we can improv on the whim. As you can see, many elements and concepts of leadership play into each other. At the beginning of the semester, I was pessimistic about this class, leadership as an art, because I arrogantly felt that I was already a successful leader. But this class challenged me intellectually. An important part to leadership is learning to reflect on your strengths and weaknesses. Leadership isn't only about leading people and being good at it with lots of practice. It's also about understanding how to lead, reflecting on yourself, and using those reflections to improve. There's always space to improve in leadership, no matter how big or small the opportunity. Thanks for joining me on this explorative video on leadership, and have a positively radiant day.